It started as a faint tremor under his boots, a vibration that had no place on this seemingly stable alien world. Miguel, the mission commander, froze mid-step. The vibration grew stronger, resonating through his bones. The ground wasn't just shaking, it was pulsing with a deep, rhythmic beat. Boom! A nearby pool of murky water rippled violently. Boom! The giant iridescent ferns swayed, not from wind, but from the sheer force of the impact. Boom! Manuela, the team's biologist, grabbed his arm, her eyes wide with a mixture of awe and alarm. She whispered, her voice barely audible over the thudding, "Tell me that's just thunder, Miguel." But Miguel couldn't form the words. His gaze was fixed on the dense alien jungle ahead, because between the colossal purple-leafed trees, a shadow was moving, a shadow that was far too large to be anything they had ever imagined. Hello and welcome to English Fluency Hacks, the podcast where we unlock the secrets to fluent English not through boring grammar rules, but through the power of story. My name is Sarah, and I'll be your guide on this adventure. Today, we're traveling to a distant planet, a world of danger and discovery. Your mission is simple. Listen closely, let your imagination paint the picture in your mind, and feel the story unfold. Later, we'll practice some key sentences together to build your speaking confidence. Are you ready? Then take a deep breath and let's begin our journey. Their spaceship, the Odyssey, descended silently through the thick orange atmosphere of planet X09. The landing was smooth, settling in a clearing surrounded by enormous, unfamiliar vegetation. The air outside was warm and heavy, thick with the smell of damp earth and strange, sweet-smelling flowers. As the ramp lowered with a quiet hiss, Miguel was the first to step onto the alien soil. He looked around, taking in the primordial landscape, and spoke into his helmet communicator, his voice filled with wonder. "It looks ancient," he said, as if they had traveled not just through space, but through time itself. Manuela followed, her high-tech scanner already active, sweeping across the horizon. The device chirped softly. "There's plenty of oxygen," she reported, a note of relief in her voice. But the scanner shows no signs of civilization, no buildings, no technology, nothing. Just as she finished her sentence, a cry echoed from the jungle. It was a deep, powerful sound that vibrated in their chests. It was not the sound of a machine, nor was it human. It was purely, terrifyingly animal. Miguel turned slowly, his hand instinctively going to the emergency beacon on his belt. Far in the distance, near a range of jagged mountains, something huge was moving. It was a silhouette against the orange sky, a creature with a long, sweeping tail, massive legs that moved with a slow, deliberate rhythm, and a head crowned with what looked like razor-sharp teeth. Manuela's breath caught in her throat. She froze, her scanner forgotten in her hand. Is that a dinosaur?" she stammered. But before Miguel could even process the question, the ground shook again, much closer this time. Let's pause the story for a moment to focus on some powerful vocabulary. And if you're enjoying this story, it's a great time to quickly hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next adventure. Now, let's continue. We heard that the ground was shaking. Shaking means moving very quickly back and forth or up and down. Imagine you are very cold. Your body might start shaking, or during an earthquake, the entire ground shakes. Next, we described the creature as massive. Massive means extremely large, huge, or enormous. A skyscraper is massive. An elephant is big, but a blue whale is massive. It's a word we use when big isn't strong enough. Finally, Miguel said the planet looked ancient. Ancient means from a very, very long time ago, from the distant past. The pyramids of Egypt are ancient. We talk about ancient history. It gives a feeling of great age in history. So, let's put it all together. Listen again. The massive dinosaur moved across the ancient land as the ground was shaking beneath it. Now, let's get back to the story. The trees directly in front of them began to tremble and part. A flock of small winged reptiles burst from the canopy, screeching in alarm. And then it emerged from the shadows, a Tyrannosaurus Rex, more magnificent and terrifying than any textbook could ever capture. It was taller than their spaceship, its scaly hide a pattern of earthy browns and greens. Its powerful yellow eyes, with pupils like black slits, locked directly onto them. Manuela's voice was a mere whisper. "It sees us." Miguel put a calming hand on her shoulder. "Don't run," he whispered back, his own heart pounding. "Stay perfectly still." The dinosaur took one heavy step forward. Boom. The impact vibrated through their feet. Another step. Boom. It was closer now, close enough for them to smell its breath, a strange, musky scent. Miguel slowly, carefully reached for his scanner, hoping to gather data. It might just be curious, he reasoned, trying to keep his voice steady, not necessarily aggressive. The great beast lowered its enormous head, its nostrils flaring as it sniffed the air around them. Manuela held her breath, not daring to move a muscle. For a long, silent moment that stretched into an eternity, nothing happened. Then, another roar echoed from deeper within the forest, a challenge or a call. The T-Rex's head snapped up, turning towards the sound. Suddenly, as if losing all interest in the two small humans, it let out a deafening roar of its own and charged towards the mountains. Moments later, a second dinosaur of the same species emerged from the trees and followed it. The ground shook one last time, and then silence returned, broken only by the sound of their own ragged breathing. Miguel finally let out a long exhale. "I think," he said slowly, a grin spreading across his face, "we just survived our first dinosaur encounter." Manuela let out a shaky laugh. "And I think," she added, looking around at the wild, untamed world, "this planet belongs to them." Excellent work! Now it's time to practice your speaking. This is called shadowing. I will say a sentence, and you will repeat it after me. Try to copy my pronunciation and rhythm. Ready? Let's start. The ground was shaking. It was a massive creature. Don't run. Stay perfectly still. It sees us. This planet belongs to them. Fantastic. Remember, confidence in speaking comes from practice and repetition. You are doing great. Safely back inside the Odyssey, Miguel and Manuela watched the alien world on their main view screen. From the sterile comfort of their ship, the planet looked peaceful, a beautiful sphere of orange skies and deep green continents. It was wild, untouched, and breathtakingly beautiful. Manuela turned to Miguel. "Should we explore more tomorrow?" she asked, her fear replaced by a scientist's boundless curiosity. Miguel considered it for a moment, then nodded firmly. "Yes," he confirmed, but very, very carefully. As their ship ascended into a stable orbit, they recorded their first official mission log. Official log, Planet Zeros 9. The planet is habitable, with a breathable atmosphere and diverse ecosystems. It is also extremely dangerous, populated by colossal reptilian lifeforms. But above all, it is incredible. But just as they were about to transmit the log back to Earth Command, a light on their control panel began to blink. It was an incoming signal, a weak but distinct pattern. It wasn't a distress call from their ship. It wasn't a communication from Earth. It was coming from the planet's surface. Miguel stared at the screen, his brow furrowed in confusion and disbelief. "We're not alone here," he said, his voice low, and this time he wasn't talking about dinosaurs. What is sending the signal? Find out what happens next in the next episode of English Fluency Hacks. Thank you for listening until the end. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And I'd love to hear your theory about the mysterious signal. Leave a comment below. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next episode.